All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for February 14th, 2020. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We've got a very exciting Valentine's Day. A lot of really cool, a lot of fun energies going on upstairs. All right, we've got the moon in the middle degrees of Scorpio, right? Deep, passionate emotions coming out right now. A need to follow our deep, passionate emotions, right? A need to bring this stuff up to the surface. These hidden feelings, bring them up and out. Okay? Now we've got the moon creating a water trine over to Mercury at 12 degrees. All right? So Mercury is slowing down, about to start its retrograde this weekend, right? So Mercury's slowing down. It's in the fog, it's in the haze, it's in its detriment sign of Pisces, but it's still making a connection, okay? Making a spiritual connection, making a connection with our dreams, right? So on one hand, we have the moon saying, I need to connect with this deeper part of myself, this deeper rooted part of myself, these deep, passionate desires, right? We've got Mercury, communication, information, on a higher level of consciousness, the unseen stuff, right? So on both levels, we're talking about very low, like the infrared, deep beneath, and the ultraviolet, okay? We're talking about two levels outside of our spectrum of view that we're being urged to feel and to communicate, okay? So this is very powerful. This is a very, very powerful connection, okay? And on one hand, the moon is saying experiment, okay? Like we don't know certain things until we try them. And the moon is absolutely saying like, look, get out and try this. You know, you'll never know unless you take that chance, right? And Mercury, again, connecting with this higher sense of spirituality, connecting with, again, our dreaminess. We don't know how good everything can be. We don't know how great our lives can be, you know? If we're just stuck in this same, gerbil, hamster wheel, you know, and it's just like we got to get off the hamster wheel right now. We have to dive into the unknown, right? Now we also have Mars up here. I mean, there's a lot of really beautiful and fate-like destined connections that are going on right now. Let's talk about those. So we've got Mars at the last degrees here, okay? 28, moving from 28 to 29 degrees. Last couple days, the 14th, 15th, and I think on the 16th it moves over here into the sign of Capricorn exalted, but we're not there yet, okay? So we're starting to get this trine going, okay? That's going to happen for about a week, okay? Really, really, really powerful. Mars, planet of action, okay? So at 28 degrees, we're talking about consistency for mundane, ordinary, daily tasks. Okay, you know, at the 28th degree, it's brushing your teeth. You know, it's just doing those daily tasks. It's getting up in the morning, finishing the act of sleeping, and completing it by making your bed. You know, it's things that aren't like, this is going to really, doing these tasks are really going to help advance my career or advance, a certain part, right? But it's staying consistent at doing them. And that's what this Capricorn energy is also telling us. Jupiter, up in Capricorn, saying our expansion is through our consistency. Our transformation is through our consistency. Our consistency leads to a new way of daily life. And the moon is saying, well, I need to experiment with my daily life. I need to experiment on the unknown, this connection over here to spiritual Mercury, right? Now, later on in the evening, depending on where you're at in the world, the moon will meet up, going to create the water trine to Neptune and Pisces, okay? Which, again, this is about our dreams. Okay, this is a need for our expansion, making this perfect septile fate and destined energy to transformative Pluto at the 23rd degree of Capricorn, saying we can transcend where we are currently at if we still have faith in our dreams, right? And like we talked about last week, or this past week, or whatever, if you've been following along, there's a balance between thinking ahead and anticipation, between looking at the past, and it's it's a paradox, it's just like the present is the only thing, which is certainly true to a degree, right? Again, it's paradoxical because it's like, well, my past has certainly helped create the individual that I am. Your past has certainly helped create the individual that you are. And having a goal also creates the individual that you are. If you have no goal, we're back on that hamster wheel. We're just living daily life, right? We're just on this same thing. So there's a balance between understanding our past, being grateful for our past. There are no, everything that didn't work out how we wanted it to was exactly what we needed to transcend to where we are now. And having the goal set in front of us and being able to experiment the moon, in Scorpio, experiment with our personal desires to step off of that hamster wheel, to explore outside of the known territory, Mercury over there in Pisces, over here in Pisces, connecting with Neptune at around 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you'll know wherever that is for you. This is connecting with our dreams, experimenting, getting outside of that comfort zone, getting outside of what is our norm, maybe having a difficult conversation, maybe doing something that we didn't foresee ourselves doing, and then falling in love with it. Because going back to Mars here, this is the last day at the 28th degree of this normality, being consistent in these mundane tasks. And then as the day moves on, it moves to the 29th degree, which is about blessings, right? Now, we talked about this when Jupiter was hanging out there for days. We talked about this when the sun back in 2019 was hanging out there. This is about receiving blessings. This is about receiving gifts. This is about like, hey, I see the hard work that you've put in here. I see what you've been doing. And maybe this mundane task or what seemed like a mundane task to you, not everybody makes their bed when they get up in the morning. Some people just get up and head out the door. Not everybody takes the time to brush and floss their teeth every single night. But this it's one of those funny things that I remember reading, and it was like something about elderly. It was just like people that are on their deathbed, basically. What do they wish they could have done differently looking back at their life? One was just not spending money on ridiculous things on drinking Starbucks coffee all the time. One of them was nothing wrong with Starbucks, but it was just spending additional money for these kind of things. One of them was forgiving people. Mercury over there in Pisces, forgiveness, ultimate forgiveness. We are all one. You're a reflection of me. I'm a reflection of you. And the other thing was, honestly, it was taking better care of their mouth, brushing their teeth. So anyway, I don't want to get hung up on that. But at the same time, it's just not everybody does those things. So it's just there's a recognition that's going on. That's just hey, I see you. I see the hard work that you're putting into this. I see, that you do care. You do care about yourself. You do care about others. And coming back to Mercury here at the 12th degree, where it's going to stay for a couple of days, as it's going to station retrograde at 12 degrees 57. It's at 12:33 right now. So it's going to stay at 12 degrees. This is about, willpower. Okay? So this is willpower coming through. And what is our willpower to, one, stay consistent? What is our willpower to to take the high road when we reach our limit? This is also in the sign of completion. What do we do when we're hungry? When we're crazy hungry, we eat fast. And then what happens? We start to slow down. There could still be a giant mound of food in front of us, but we begin to slow things down. Oh, I'm getting full now, So it's when we're full of willpower, and we're willing to step outside of the norm, when we're willing to experiment with our desires, when we know that our cup is full and we have plenty to give, plenty to share, when we know that because we've been consistent in our acts, that we will receive, we don't have to anticipate receiving, the acknowledgement or these blessings, but just knowing that they're all around us, right? Life starts to shine, right? This is the last bit of forward momentum that we're going to have this year. We are, the start of the year started off really wonderfully. Okay, there's been a lot of forward momentum. This retrograde, which is happening this weekend, is, thankfully we have Mars moving into Capricorn, but this retrograde is the start of the dominoes. I kind of said that actually back when the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, okay? The dominoes are falling over. There is momentum. There's movement that is happening. And this retrograde is certainly the start of an additional set of movement, a whole other layer of this this journey, okay? And it's like, again, reminding ourselves to slow things down, that our will is full, that our hearts are full, our bellies are full, our minds are full of the right and proper information, that when we get into confrontation, that when we get into hazy communication over the next couple of weeks, when we get into arguments, or we get into whatever it may be that's coming our way, we can handle them with serenity, that we can handle these issues, executing our willpower. So happy Valentine's Day, my friends. Happy Valentine's Day to lovebirds out there. Happy Valentine's Day to the singles out there, practicing your inner strength, that inner will, and knowing that all the good blessings are coming your way. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with me. We'll see you tomorrow.